Cool. Get comfortable, take seats, drink water. Don't lean on your weapon and fall asleep. I'm going to talk to you about a bunch of different things. Cool? Oh. All right, so Command Sergeant Major Brownback, 2nd 311th OCT Battalion out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Started the service in the Army National Guard years ago, December of 1990. Infantry, was in that, the Guard for 15 years, deployed in 03, during that time as Staff Sergeant Squad Leader, and then I left the Guard for the Army Reserve Drill Sergeant Unit in 2005 out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I was in that unit altogether about 12 years, mobilized 2 years to Benning as a Drill Sergeant in 08 and 09. A lot of shit had changed from when I was there as a private. Then I went to come back, promoted First Sergeant, then Master Sergeant of Operations, Training and Operations following that. And then pinned CSM, had a stupid attack and pinned on CSM in April of 2017. Did a medical battalion for my first 10 years. 10 years for us are minimum 2 years, up to 3 years. You can get a 4th year extension if you're crazy enough, and then you move on to another 10 year retire. Cool? Question? That was fast. I don't like talking about myself, rather talk about you. Cool? All right. So who knows the 8 troop leading procedures? Anyone know those? Who doesn't know what I'm talking about? Okay, we got to learn those. Cool? The troop leading procedures go on up to company level. And once you get past company level, you get into the military decision-making process, MD&P. Cool? So TLPs are receive the mission, issue the warning order, make a tentative plan, initiate movement, recon, issue the final order, rehearse and supervise. Cool? They don't all have to be in that order. Make sense? Meaning that you can always rehearse. Right? Bunch of rehearsals are just going on out here. Good stuff. Good stuff. So the Army, many things in the Army are simple, right? But what complicates them? Us, right? The human factor, right? I'm messing up all the time. Right? So think about that. What are the numbers that we want to go to war with? What kind of odds? 3 to 1 odds, right? Did we have that for the desert? What? Initially? No, we didn't, right? We gambled, right? Why did we get lucky? Huh? Why? All right. What did they also lack? Why did terrorist groups pop up? ISIS, those types of things. What did they lack? Leadership. Conventional forces against us, right? Iraq, right? Yes? Makes sense? What does near peer have? Plenty of. Conventional forces, right? May be different, right? We're still going to go for air and fire superiority, right? Cyber superiority. What's a concern going into near peer? A real concern. What? Okay. Expect the worst, hope for the best. What else? I said part of it. Drone. Cyber security. Cyber, right? Technology issues, right? Compatibility. Does TACnet and the fucking VoIP all work out here? No, like it's supposed to? Doesn't. All right. Another concern is contracts. What do contracts do for us?
They put out the information.
What?
They put out the information for third parties.
Contracts. Tracks, not tax. Augment. With what? Creature comforts, right? Defag, air conditioning, tents, right? Cool? Falling in on shit, right? What may happen in near peer? Might be the shit that's on your back, right? All right, I know I'm talking, you know, light infantry as well, a lot. Okay, but you got to expect the worst hope for the best. Cool? Cool. So you got to have good water sources. All right, when I first became a CSM medical battalion, I go on the field and I'm hearing this term water source. And I'm like, and this is what makes us crazy, okay? So who's heard the idea that when you come up the ranks, you get more pissed off? Any enlisted heard that? So you put rockers on, then the diamond on. Which by the time you put the diamond on, you're pissed off all the time, right? And then the star and the wreath, fucked, right? So the changes, right, and adapting is largely what, you know, does that, right? So water source, what? Well, Sergeant Major, as long as they got a bottle with water, that's a water source and it's good. No, right? You need these, right? For the ProMax, correct? I mean, I'm dumb, but I got some common sense. Cool? And then these little things here, right? I love this. I do, but they break quicker than canteens, right? So be smart. You got to have it with you. Okay, you got to hit the ground running. You got to always be ready for the worst, hope for the best. Okay, if the creature comforts are there, great, but expect it not to be. Cool? Cool. Questions so far? All right. I get excited. I love this shit. I hate it too, but I love it. Cool? All right. Look to be led. Okay? So there are a lot of subordinates around here, right? A lot of specialists. I had a PV2 earlier get pissed at me. Where's he at? Where's my PV2? Right there? Cool.
Yes, Sergeant Major.
Are you locked in?
I'm locked in now, Sergeant Major.
All right, cool. I love it. I love it. So look to be led. Okay? Always be looking at your leader, right? To see what right looks like. Got it? You should never need to know what uniform to be in. You shouldn't have to ask some of these questions. That leads to implied task, right? Okay, don't be a suck ass. All right, we used to call them FSAs. I'll let you figure out what F stands for, okay? Don't be that. Don't be a spotlight ranger, okay? But you gotta look to be led and ask the right questions at the right times, right? Who's familiar with the Y Army? Why? What's the definition of leadership? Three things. Three things. Purpose, that's the why, right? What else?
Direction and motivation.
Direction and motivation. Who? All right. So, there's also something called blind faith in your leadership. Who? So, I need you all to move here. Y'all came here, right? Did everybody know why? But you did it, right? And you didn't get killed, right? So we're good. So the why, the purpose, can evolve. You get me? So we don't always need to know a detailed why we're doing this right now. You still got to be ready to go. Make sense? It's some old cobwebs that have built up, okay? We got to fix it. We got to fix it. We got to act like we're doing something. We got to move with the purpose, be motivated, okay? And then we can housekeep later. We can housekeep along the way. Make sense? Hey Joe, I'm glad you made it to the fight. Cool? So these are the other 3 reasons we're doing this, okay? Got it? You getting paid? You getting fed? You sleeping? Let's go. We're good. Right? Make sense? That's it. That private back there, I guarantee you right now, all he cares about besides that cigarette he's smoking, getting paid, right? Sleeping, and getting fed.
And a roof over my head.
What?
And a roof over my head.
Got it. It may just be a tarp or a poncho, okay?
Something to keep the water away.
So wait, and that water may roll through there. That's why you got your sleep mat. Cool? If you have that, okay?
Yeah.
Or you take that that 4-piece sleeping bag and waterproof. Yeah, that's what that's for.
I brought that, Sergeant Major.
Excellent. So we're locked. We're ready to rock, right? Good. Good leaders. Who's had some bad leaders? All right, I have too. Okay, probably more bad than good, right? So your good leaders, treat them like speed bumps. Okay, attach to their hip for a while. There's a good lieutenant out here somewhere. Where'd he go? There you go. Thank you, sir. So I told him I wish I could take all my officers in my unit right now, my OCT battalion, attach them to his hips. Okay, the guy knows his shit. All right. But what you got to do with a strong officer like that is be a stronger enlisted. Okay, it's not a competition, but you got to make sure you know your shit and you're ready to go. To be his counterpart, because he's gonna leave you. All right, he's already thinking ahead. All right, it's good. It's good. It's a blessing and a curse. Cool. So use that knowledge. Get a hold of that knowledge, because I bet you he ain't gonna be in the uniform. All right. So don't let the grass grow under your feet too long. If the grass is growing under your feet too long, like more than 3 years, you're probably not doing the right things. Probably about your attitude or something to move forward and advance. Cool? You got to do that. So that leads me to my next thing. Where are my specialists at? Who's been how long you been in? 2.5 years. 9 years. Why? All right, cool. I love it. I was one time too. So, anybody heard of the sham shield? Got a big shammer right here. I was a shammer, loved it. Okay, back in the day, you could sew your rank on your BDU collars, look squared away with a block tat, nobody fucked with it. Okay, you don't have the time for that anymore. Okay, because the school has gotten to be so much. It really has. The NCO development course. Okay, take your brain buckets off. I know y'all ain't. There ain't no way you're listening. Okay, because I don't listen when I really want. All right. So PLDC, I attended that in 1995. It was 2 weeks long. Fort Polk, Louisiana, one of the armpits of the Army. Cool. So, how long is BLC? Anybody? Huh?
23 days.
23 days.
3 weeks, Sergeant Major.
There you go. A little bit longer than I had, right? Plus you've got what now that I didn't have to do? Huh? Well, you got, yeah, you're rich, but what else?
That's
Huh?
More work.
Yeah, more worry. You got distance learning, right? Who hates computers? Cool. Who loves them? All right. I'm in the middle. Okay. So you got to get after it. You can't hang out anymore for. Listen, you're going to be okay. All right. Just listen. You can't hang out anymore for 10 years. Okay. You should aspire to at least retire, if you can, a sergeant first class at 20 years. Make sense? I get it. There's exceptions to everything. Sergeant Major, I'm in a low density MOS. I really love my job, but it only goes to staff sergeant. I'm going to retire as staff sergeant. All right. Are you comfortable with that? Yes. All right, cool. It's your thing, right? I get it. There's exceptions to everything. I'm just telling you what I think, okay? And this is based off 30 years experience, all right? So there's a lot of schools. There's a lot of ALC, there's a lot of SLC, there's MLC. You know, I did 4 weeks of BNOC, 4 weeks of ANOC, first sergeant course, which was DL on Blackboard for like, a year. The phase 1 was DL, and the phase 2 resident was 2 weeks, okay? So they took away first sergeant course. They said SLC is good. SLC will bridge the gap from E78. Who's been to SLC? Did it teach you how to be a first sergeant? A little bit? Cool. I think they got a day of it in there, right?
So you got a day of it. We spent a lot of time on like SDOT stuff, stuff that science level.
Okay. Cool. Good. So anyway, then they came along with MLC, which basically replaces the first sergeant course. Who's familiar with the Sergeant's Major Academy now? When you graduate, you can earn a degree. The equivalent of a degree. Anybody familiar with that? You are. You are? Who wants to be a Sergeant Major? Anyone got one? All right. Awesome. So my replacement. So that is part of why there's all this writing and stuff also in the coursework now. Okay, because it has to meet those requirements, those civilian requirements, right? In order to get a bachelor's by the time you graduate, right? There's some extra work you got to do along with the academy to do that. You can opt in or opt out towards that accreditation. Make sense? So, the enlisted, the NCOs, we've got to continue to work on being professional. Okay? What I'm also saying here is largely those schools are not going to teach you to be an on-the-ground tactical leader. They're just not. Okay? They're not set up to do that. They largely really never were. Okay? They maybe more so were, but largely still never were set up for that. Make sense? So that's going to come from, you know, these lieutenants, these guys that are good, right, within your ranks. Okay, the speed bumps, the good leaders, right? Okay, you can still learn from a bad leader. Don't get me wrong. So, and as you progress through the ranks, keep the mindset of always trying to be the leader that you want to have. Okay, just kind of keep that mindset. What kind of leader did I want to have? Did I miss coming up? Okay, it doesn't mean we give everybody hugs. It doesn't mean we coddle. Okay, being a leader is not being a buddy. All right, it doesn't mean that you go do cookouts together and stuff necessarily. So it's kind of a fine line you walk. So your good leaders are not always going to say what you want to hear, right? But hopefully they're going to say and do what'll keep you safe, right? And return fire and survive the battle. Make sense? And then they take care of you on the back end. All right, they're getting make sure the private's got the poncho over his head, right? And little things like that, and then getting into schools and promotions and career progression. Mentoring. So everyone here, you should be mentoring whoever you outrank. All right? You don't have to know it all to be a mentor. Everybody knows something, right? So get after it. Don't send them to Army Career Tracker online. Does anyone know what that is?
Huh?
Bullshit, right? That's what that is. Okay. It's good for going and finding what jobs relate to your MOS. That's really about it. You can request a mentor in there, but it's just not the same. Okay. Don't be a paper soldier, an online soldier. Okay. Get the nitty gritty. Get the down to earth, right? Stuff like the PL's putting out and just various things, all right? I've only been with you a little while, so I don't know everybody. She's strong, right? Specialist. I can't say your name. What is that?
It's Quanto Sergeant Major.
Huh?
Quanto Sergeant Major.
Quanto?
Yes, Sergeant Major.
All right, cool. I got, yeah. I suck at that, I'm telling you. Questions? Comments, concerns? Okay. When in charge, take charge. Cool? When in charge, take charge. When not in charge, be led. All right, Sergeant Major was going to go on your convoy today. All right. You know, things start going down. You know, shit hits the fan, whatever. You know, I may just have to be a rifleman, right? It doesn't matter. Rank doesn't always matter, right? So if you got Specialist Tonto there in charge, okay, she's in charge, right? Rank doesn't necessarily matter anymore, right? And actually, it's kind of fun. Cool. I'll go hang out here with the private, right? We'll just sit back and talk shit. It's better than being in a meeting that makes me dumber. Cool. Yeah. So
Good idea, Barry.
yes, good idea, Barry. All right.
Well, maybe if we
So, the new weapons qualification. I asked the group earlier, is everyone tracking? There's a new individual weapons qualification. I think it's got 8 tables, okay? And there's this little like honeycomb looking stair step wall that you shoot from, okay? I haven't actually done it yet, but just know that the old one's obsolete now, okay? Know that. That's very important. Foundations training. When I say foundations training, what am I talking about?
Sergeant Major, it's the just the real basic stuff like protecting your.
No. It relates to what happened at the Capitol. Good idea for his stuff. Okay. Anybody know what it is? Extremism, right?